Hello and welcome to the Matt Ligor Show. I'm your host, Matt Ligor, and I am fresh off a week-long vacation in Bermuda. I took the Bermuda cruise out of South Boston, sailed down to Bermuda, and had a wonderful time. And Bermuda is maybe one of the most beautiful islands I've ever been to. It's one of the original, it is the original British colony, back from whenever that was, a long time ago. And it still is to this day, and the scope of the Britishness is still there, although Bermuda is its own country, pretty much, has its own money system, its own laws, but still under the British rule, so to speak. There's not quite much of a British Empire anymore, so it's still part of Britain. But I was struck by a couple things, that how beautiful it was, how clean it was, how expensive it is, which is understandable considering everything has to be bought there on a boat. And the one thing I thought was funny is they make it very clear that you are not allowed to take any sand, any coral, pretty much anything other than your trash with you when you leave there. And if you do, and they catch you, they, in a very nice way, tell you to give it back or you're dead. And I'm not kidding. It's not quite that bad. I'm kind of being a little facetious, but they're really tough about it. My daughter brought a piece of dead coral about that big back to the ship. They make you put your bag through one of those scanners, and they go, well, what's in your bag? Oh, pulls it out. It's a rock. Okay, give it here. Give it back. Thanks. On your way. Don't ever come back. Basically is what happens at that point. But it was a great time. I feel refreshed. I'm here to do the show today. I'm back on track with the Matt Ligor Show. As you know, the Matt Ligor Show, I like to talk about entrepreneurs, about business, about kind of uplifting subjects. And today on my show, I have my guest is Steve Harris. Steve is an entrepreneur. He is a real estate broker, has his own real estate brokerage company. He's a network marketing pro. Been in that business for over 25 years. Now, Steve, I feel like I'm missing something. Did I leave one thing out? Did I leave anything out?
Public speaker.
Public speaker. Public speaker. Been speaking publicly, again, for over 20 years to audiences large as 25 to 30,000 people. That is an accomplishment in itself. They say public speaking, people fear that more than death. Mm-hmm. So, Steve, do you ever feel like you want to die when you're up there?
No, I love it. I love it. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. So,
fun.
Steve, I know I said a few things that you do there. You know, I know that the number one thing that encompasses everything is being an entrepreneur. But for the last 25 years, you've been focusing a lot of your time, or I shouldn't say that, a part-time amount of your time on network marketing.
Yes.
And what's the company that you've been working with for the last 22, 23 years?
I just celebrated my 23rd anniversary in June with marketamericashop.com. They're based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And it's been a fun ride. But like you said, it's a sideline venture for me. Real estate and my seminar company occupy a lot of my time. But this was a company that I looked at 23 years ago that I liked their marketing plan because I didn't have to do it full time. That appealed to me. I'm a believer in we should all have multiple streams of income. Yeah. So I liked the structure of the company. I liked the fact that the company pays weekly paychecks. That excited me. Mm-hmm. So for the past 22 and a half years, I've qualified for a weekly check.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's great. Cash flow is king. You know, cash flow is every single week. It's just part of my repertoire of what I think everybody should be looking at in terms of income streams. Yeah. So it's I lucked out. I got attached with a great company. Years ago, a good friend of mine, Bobby Canada, recommended that I reach out to this woman, Elizabeth Weber. She was starting off a new business venture in the networking industry. So I called her, and we got started in another company that really didn't do well. It only lasted about a year, but Elizabeth and I became great friends, and when she found Market America, she called me. At the time of that phone call, I was not receptive, to say the least. Yeah. But because she was my friend, I wanted to see what she was doing, and we stayed in touch. What happened was she got Market America off the ground. I wasn't ready to get started. So when I finally got started, she called me, and I said to her, "How much money are you making with Market America right now?" She said, "How much was I making the last time we spoke?" I said, "I think $8,000 a week." She said, "Double it."
16,000 a week.
So I said, "You're making $16,000 a week?" She said, "I am." I said, "Sign me up." So again, what excited me at the time, timing is everything. My oldest daughter, Stephanie, was 2 years away from going to college. And at the time, I owned an automobile company. I was specializing in highline and exotic cars. And that was a 70-hour-a-week ordeal for me. And so when I talked to Elizabeth, my whole goal with MarketAmericaShop.com was to make $300 a week, to put a college fund together so that Stephanie and Amanda, my youngest, they're 5 years apart, I didn't want them graduating from college in debt. So my only reason for doing Market America was to put a college fund together. In Stephanie's case, I only had 2 years, to get something done, because I started this when she was just getting out of her sophomore year in high school. And so I started my career back in, June 1995.
1995, yeah. So let's just recap for a second. You said no, not interested. Then you found out Elizabeth was really having some success, and you said, maybe I should look into this. And your goal was to pay for college.
Yes, I didn't want to touch my cars. I didn't want to have to liquidate inventory in, at that time, my car business to put kids through college, because if I have no inventory, I have no income.
Yeah.
And so this made sense at the time, because my thought was, if I could make $300 a week, that's 15 grand a year that I'm banking in the college fund for the kids. After 2 years, when she graduates from high school, I have 30 grand in the account. So the game plan was pay for freshman year in college and talk her out of it sophomore year. That was the big plan. So the funny part about this was I got this started while I was doing my 70-hour-a-week car gig. I was working the car business 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And started making checks, banking the checks in the college fund for the girls' account. And what happened was, when Stephanie called me 24 months into this, she had just, June of 1997, she just graduated from high school. She said, I could tell something was wrong, in her voice. She said, "I have good news and bad news, Dad." I said, "Okay, good news first." She said, "Well, I just want you to know I got accepted to the University of Miami, and I got accepted to the University of South Carolina." I said, "That's fantastic." So we're high-fiving on the phone, and she's just about to hang up. I said, well, what's the bad news? If that's the good news, what's the bad news? She said, "Oh, well, I don't know how to say this, but I got a 4-year academic scholarship to both schools. You did Market America for nothing." So it was kind of a fun phone call. But at the time, again, every check I made was going into this college fund. So I had approximately, I guess I saved about $40,000 thanks to Market America in this account that I didn't need anymore for college, because 4-year scholarship. She ended up going to the University of South Carolina for free. And they kept her for her master's. They gave her a scholarship for that. So here's 40 grand sitting there. So I did what any red-blooded American guy would do. I went out and bought a used Ferrari, and that's my Stephanie college story.
So that's a little bit of good karma.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, you believe in what you put out there is what you're going to get back, right?
All the time.
Yeah. So you're putting good stuff out there. You went to work on it. It didn't happen overnight, right? You said she was just graduated high school, so it had been 2 years. You did your 2 years.
Yeah.
Got those checks, and then come to find out she got a scholarship. How about that, right?
Well, what happened was, remember, I got started to make $300 a week.
Yeah.
I didn't want to think any bigger than that at the time because that being their lowest check, I figured that would serve the purpose.
Yeah.
What I did was I kept building, and then I was introduced to some people who wanted, like me, had goals and got involved with the company for specific reasons. I worked with them, helped them reach their goals. But I ended up, the week that Stephanie graduated from high school, June 1997, I ended up hitting $10,000 a month income with the company.
Wow.
So that's a little bit greater than $300 a week. But this is what happens. You know, if you're building and you find some leaders in your organization who, like you, are on a mission to accomplish something, your 10, 12 hours a week that you're investing turns into 100 hours a week in terms of pay.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing all the work. I was teaching people to do what I did. They were going out and doing it, which is a general basic networking concept.
Yeah.
You know, the industry has been around for years,
Yeah.
mid-50s. But to find a company like Market America, who actually began in 1992, that was hard to do because, you know, you hear the horror stories about multi-level marketing, which they're true. This is not that. That's why, you know, I was able to make the money that I made. They revolutionized the whole industry with their binary concept, getting paid on 100% of volume, not on levels.
Yeah.
So if your key leaders are on the 37th level in Market America, you still get paid on that volume. So because of my previous experience, I recognized the flaws in the other pay plan, so to speak, and the incredibleness, if you will, of this pay plan. That's why, you know, to me, I said, you can do anything for a year.
Yeah.
And anything. My goal was to try this for a year, get all 4 seasons in with the company, and reevaluate at the end of the year. You have to renew once a year anyway. So, you know, and it made sense. I've renewed every year for 23 years. So I'm in my 24th year right now. But, you know, the pay has been incredible, millions of dollars in commissions they've paid me. But the key is I didn't have to really give up anything else, financially speaking. I had to give up some television and some sitcoms, and, you know, I had to give up non-productive, non-income producing things like everybody has to, just like if you went out and got a part-time job.
Yeah.
So I didn't give up my car business. I didn't shut down my car business until I reached $25,000 a month income with Market America. Then the car business, 70 hours a week, didn't make sense to me anymore.
So you're still doing the car business 70 hours a week?
Yep.
Buying, selling, on the phone. I mean, I work in the car business too. That is a phone-heavy business.
Yes.
So, not to mention, you know, to buy a car to say make $2,000, you're going to have to probably spend 20, right? You know, that's. You were working on high-end cars too, so you might have even been putting more than that down. So you were able to do that, and so you said $25,000 a month. How much time did it take to get to that point?
That was about a 5-year project.
So for 5 years, you did both.
Oh, yeah.
So how much time did you have to invest into Market America per week on top of what you were doing?
I didn't really break it down to an hourly thing. I broke it down into an evenings out of the house thing.
Okay, yep.
3.
So 3 nights.
Yeah, I made sure that 3 nights out of the week, out of 7, that I was out of my house showing the business plan to somebody who was interested in changing their financial state, if you will.
Yeah.
So the hourly thing, because sometimes it was 10 minutes from my home, sometimes it was an hour from my home. So I just made a commitment that I'd be out of the house 3 nights a week, showing this marketing plan to somebody who wanted to change their financial picture, so to speak.
So
about 10, 15, maybe 15 hours
So you kind of like, other than the 3 nights a week, which was going to happen, that was part of your plan, you kind of weaved it into your day?
Yes.
Because you still had to talk to people and probably do some stuff. during the day.
Sure. Let's say I was delivering a car down the Cape, and I was going to drop a car off, and they were going to drive me back. Well, on the way down, I had an hour to kill, so I was either answering the phone from 10 Boston Sunday Globe ads with 10 different cars,
Yep.
or I was following up on my Market America people that were either just starting the business and needed questions answered, or somebody that I just showed the marketing plan to the night before. So I was doing both businesses, like you said, phone heavy.
Yeah.
While I'm in the car delivering cars or going to pick up a new car that I just bought, you know, that type of thing. So I had a lot of in the car by myself, non-productive time that I made productive
Yeah.
by having my cell phone with me.
So instead of listening to sports radio, you made some phone calls. And so instead of staying home and watching, Law and Order and The Big Bang and everything, you went out and built your business.
Just 3 nights a week.
Monday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Friday.
Whatever.
So,
whatever I could book.
something like that. So
Yeah.
let's just say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you did that. And instead of watching TV, you did that. And instead of doing that, you built relationships. Right? Because now here's the thing: a lot of people get really hung up on network marketing because they say it's not a real business, and all that. The truth is, I've started several businesses in my life, and the one thing it takes is determination and willpower to stick to it. Because for a long, in the businesses I've done, for a long time, it seems like it might not be working,
Right.
But you don't quit, you keep going. And then it's almost like you have to put a certain amount of energy before the universe says, okay, let's do it, right?
Exactly. Got to pay your dues.
You got to pay your dues, yeah. And if you don't do that, nothing will be successful. I don't care if it's a paper route. It's not going to be successful unless you put the time in. And you almost have to make a deal with the universe that I'm going to do what it takes. I'm not going to stop. So either you or me, one of us is going to break.
Exactly. Well, people ask me all the time, Steve, what's the key to your success in Market America? And I say the same thing all the time. I never quit when I felt like quitting.
Yeah.
I just let it play out, because like anything, if you get 4 or 5 no's in a row, not interested, that can wear on you a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's part of the business. In Major League Baseball, if somebody gets 3 hits out of 10 times at bat, they pay them $100 million.
And they go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they go in the Hall of Fame. And, they're failing 70% of the time.
Yeah.
So I work on a 80% failure rate
Yep.
in this business. And you can make a lot of money having that mindset that, I only need to succeed 20% of the time to make 6 figures a year on the side while I do other things.
Yeah. And then, so you have your real estate. Like so you're able to do all the same things you did before. Real estate. I know you don't do cars like you used to, but you like to tinker with them. You like to buy and sell here and there. Right? Play with them. So it's fun. It's not
fun.
You're not dependent on it, which is nice.
I was cleaning out a drawer the other day. I found the receipt of the Ferrari I bought.
You should put that in a frame.
I should, yeah. It's kind of funny. That's what's Stephanie's college tuition that I had saved. My Amanda graduated too. My Amanda's 5 years younger than Stephanie.
Yeah.
She graduated from college debt-free. She just got her master's 2 years ago. Stephanie got her master's. So both my children finished their education, at least for now, with no debt. And I know people, I hear the horror stories of what kids are coming out of college with today in debt.
6 figures.
Oh,
in debt.
it's crazy. And it's not dischargeable. They can't discharge it in bankruptcy. That follows you for life.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing for me. That's, if nothing ever happened other than my 2 kids graduated as a result of me getting started in Market America, if that's all that came out of this, that's enough.
Yeah.
But, now as I'm getting older, these weekly checks, 52 times a year, are part of my retirement plan now. And the other thing that floored me when I saw this is that this is a willable asset. So when my time up being an entrepreneur on this planet, when that's over, I get to will this business to my kids, and they can reap the benefits of, you know,
all
all
those years of building that foundation. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Right.
your kids can get your business. Now they can add to it if they want to,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, they can expand to it
Yeah.
as Market America and franchise owners.
Yeah.
So that's something that's almost unheard of today.
Mm-hmm.
This would be like, if you had 10 pieces of real estate, it becomes part of your estate.
Yeah.
And so that alone is worth. Forget the money that I've earned over the years, and the consistency factor. Today's Thursday. I get my email. Today on what they're going to deposit in my account tomorrow morning.
What's the what kind of equipment do you need if you want to do this? Like what kind? Do I need
Laptop.
A laptop. Okay, so everybody already has that.
Internet access.
Internet access. Everybody already has that. Cell phone. Everybody
Would
has
help.
that,
Mhm.
right? You can do a lot of stuff just from your phone too. So we're talking about basically products.
Yeah, merchandise.
Merchandise, like you
Everyday products.
Everyday products. Same stuff you buy at Walmart. Same stuff you buy at CVS.
Yeah, which was another thing that attracted me to this was I didn't feel I was spending money on stuff.
Yeah.
I was just switched to who I was giving my money to.
Mm-hmm.
They have everyday vitamin, all sorts of stuff
Yeah.
that all of us in America are spending hundreds of dollars a week on.
Yeah.
I just now buy everything from my home through my business.
Yeah.
And in I think it was 2005, we became partners with a lot of major companies, which created a whole new commission structure.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get paychecks on our products, and we also same pay plan on not our products. For example, I'll just use Home Depot as an example. They're one of about 4,000 partner stores that we've affiliated with.
Yeah.
So instead of me going down to Home Depot and buying my $500 gas grill, I can buy the same grill through my Market America portal, because Home Depot is one of our stores.
Yeah.
And so almost every dollar that you account for as a family or a spendable income can be tracked through your own business, and it's all commissionable. Commissionable expenditures, which you were going to do anyway.
So these companies, basically, it's advertising. Instead of running a commercial, they'd rather pay people. They pay a commission on a sale
Point
and on
of
a referral.
sale.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
And then they pay that all the way through your lineage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you buy a grill, somebody else benefits from that too, not just you.
Correct.
And if they buy a grill, vice versa, right?
Right.
So okay, so that makes a lot of sense, because you're not being asked to like for instance, I have my dent business. I have to pay rent for my shop, right? I can't if I don't pay my rent, I get no place anymore, right? So you're looking at and then I have to get my customers and do the work and everything. So in order to, and if someone was to start, say, a dent business, they'd have to invest a year of their time, buy a set of tools, then they'd have to go out and get accounts. When I first started doing dents, I went out, I remember I must have given out at least 200 business cards to car dealers, body shops, and I'd say out of those 200 cards, let's call it 100 cards, maybe 2 or 3 of them would call me. And maybe one of them became a steady account. But the funny thing would happen is I'd get a call from some guy I never went to, I never met, and he'd say, hey, I got your card from so-and-so. You gave it to him. I need a dent guy. Oh, okay, I'll come. I came down. I was always blown away by that principle of pushing out there and promoting and selling myself. The results came from somewhere I didn't expect.
Happens to me a lot in the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
I get calls all the time. You don't know me, Steve, but so-and-so had a good experience with you 10 years ago, and they told me to call you. I want to list my house with you.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
So you have to push out in order to get results, and you don't know where they're going to come from. Just like your main goal was to pay for college, and you ended up getting a $25,000 a month business out of it, which is pretty sweet, you know?
But I worked it.
You did. You worked it.
I
Yeah.
worked it, not hard. I just worked it very consistently.
Yeah.
3 nights a week instead of watching TV. What am I doing those 3 nights a week?
Well,
Nothing.
unproductive time.
Right. So I just converted those unproductive, financially speaking, nights into income-producing nights. Not the night I did it.
Yeah.
Over a period of years.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
It didn't happen all at once.
No.
You know, it must have done well for you because you look good. You got all your hair. All right.
I think that's a gene thing.
I don't know. But anyway, you got all your hair, and you got, you know, you're healthy and you're happy.
Feel good.
Yeah. Made a lot of friends.
Yes.
Helped a lot of people.
Yes. A lot of lifetime friends.
Yeah, lifetime friends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they say that if you want to look at someone successful, what to look at is how many people they've helped, and what do they give to their community? What do they give back to their community? Nobody gets their money because unless you inherit it or you win the lottery, but that happens to very few people. It comes from how much you help people.
Well, in this business, that's the only way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about me individually. It's about teaching people to do what I do, and then helping them when maybe they're stuck on a particular step of our 5 success steps. And I only make what I make because I helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, I have people making 6-figure incomes that I didn't know the day I registered my business, June 6, 1995. These people weren't in my life yet. And today, I'd call them best friends, 6-figure earners in this business. You know, a lot of them do other things too.
So you have other people like yourself in your organization who make 6 figures, have another business.
Oh yeah.
And they work it part time because, like you said, I think the thing that's most attractive about it is that you're able to still live your life, or even better, you get more freedom, right? You get a ton of freedom.
Well, see, I call it the L factor. L, as in leverage. People don't understand that they can go out and work part-time, 15 hours a week and get a dollar amount. But when they stop working those 15 hours a week at the store or wherever, they lose that income. There's no leverage. They have to show up to earn that income. What Market America provides, in my opinion, is the missing ingredient in that financial recipe, which is the L factor. Leveraged income. Right now, I'm talking to you for 30 minutes. I probably have worldwide, I don't know, maybe 50 people right now while we're chatting, showing the marketing plan, and I'm not physically present at that meeting. I'm here with you. And the L factor is powerful in terms of not today when you're young and spry and going to take on the world, but as part of a retirement plan, think about it, is the L factor that's the missing link in most people's financial game plan.
Yeah.
They can't earn income unless they're physically present.
Yeah.
And I'm not physically present today at those 50 meetings going on. I'm here with you.
Yeah, and you're also not closing any sales, but sales are happening. Product is moving, volume is running through your business, right?
Right.
So we're just about out of time, Steve. So if anybody has any questions for Steve, or you'd like to ask any questions of what we talked about, you can reach him. The best way to reach you is at steveharrisseminars@gmail.com, right?
Right. All one word, lowercase, Steve Harris Seminars, plural, @gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. I usually get back to everybody within 24 hours.
All right.
But this is the real deal.
Yeah.
23 years. You can huck me into something for a year. You can't huck me into something for 23. I'm a C student, not an idiot.
Well, Steve, I want to thank you for being on the show and sharing your experience with us. And it's been a real pleasure.
My pleasure.
To be your
buddy.
friend and to have you on the show.
Thanks for the invite.
You're welcome. Not yet. You can't leave yet, Steve. I got to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching the Matt Ligor Show with my guest, Steve Harris. And we'll see you next time. Take care.